But you took a big risk. You were playing with the Hurricanes,
I was.
and you got a chance to go with this Beatles group.
Yeah, I know.
But the Hurricanes were bigger at the moment.
They were, but I loved from Germany where we met, really. We were playing Rory and the Hurricanes, and the Beatles were playing the different clubs, and the guy Koshmi, who owned both of them, put us on the same club. And I loved John, Paul, and George. I just loved that front line. And, you know, we would do at the weekend 12 hours between us. And I'd be there for the last gig, you know, just sitting there watching the front line, requesting songs. Yeah, so then they asked, and I had no hesitation, really, but people did say, "Are you going to leave Rory?" And I said, yeah, I'm going to leave. You know, you just make a step up.
I'm interested to know why that was. You liked the group.
I did. I loved
liked the music.
Yeah, they were great players. They were you know, Rory was a showman, and we were players, and we had a guitarist called Johnny Guitar who was great, but that was about it, really. But we, you know, we were big in Liverpool, and I just loved them. So, you know, the thing Brian called it was a Wednesday. He said, "Would you join the band?" I said, "Sure." I said, "When?" He said, "Oh, tonight." I said, "No, I can come Saturday because they've got to get another drummer." Because, you know, we're all playing the same songs.
Well, let's go back for a minute. Even before the Hurricanes, you heard Lightnin' Hopkins, you heard
Ernest
Tubb, you heard
Hank Williams,
all of those. Did you hear other drummers? For example, Gene Krupa was a big drummer.
I went to see, I think it was the Glenn Miller story. Gene Krupa was actually in it. Yeah. But people always ask me, "Oh, what about those drummers and those records?" I never listened to the drummer. I listened to the whole thing. You know, there was an Al Green track called "I'm a Ram," and the guy hit the hi-hat, boom, boom, boom. Psst. It's like magic to me. And I remember I remember those moments. We're sitting with Klaus Bormann in this apartment we have in London, and so that did. But Al Jackson, yes, I know the names, and they played on great records. But it wasn't like I was listening for the drums.